Hey everybody, it's your girl Heavenly B, and I'm in the studio, the Zoom studio with Dale and David for another episode of the Prince George's Weekly Podcast. And we are going to get back into our conversation about travel and Dale's quest to go to Benin with me as the guide. Dale, do we have any updates? Have we talked and figured out the vaccination situation?
I knew you were going to ask me a question didn't have a good answer for. So the answer is I have not done anything other than plan my meeting with my doctor, and she's not the happiest with me right now because I'm fighting the vaccines. I'm
Oh,
a vaccine denier. I'm just
so
fighting today.
So you're basically scared to go to your doctor right now.
I said, hey, you know what? Something happened the other week, and my thumb is tingling and numb. So I think it might just be carpal tunnel. I don't know, and I really want to talk about the vaccines. So I sent this email on my what is that? My portal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't respond. The nurse responded and said, "You need to come in and see us." Right. And now I'm getting a spanking or something. I ain't going in for a spanking.
Right. So now can I reschedule my appointment for got the availability to say January? It's like telling you. Well,
so I haven't scheduled the appointment yet, but I keep forgetting until it's after 5 o'clock to call up and say, okay, I can come in whenever you can see me. So I ruled out a heart attack, so it's just carpal tunnel.
How did you rule it out?
It's been a couple weeks and I'm still alive.
So you and you was gonna risk it. You ain't say I went to the hospital or anything. You literally just waited it out.
I wear glasses. That don't mean I'm smart. I'm just trying to pretend.
Lord.
So, my brother had a heart attack a couple years ago. My younger brother. We do have some heart disease in the family. And I know that if you get those weird feelings in your right side, then you need to go to the hospital right away. Mm-hmm. Right side, right away. This was left side. I figured I'd give it a few hours, and if it got better, fine. I don't worry about it. If it got worse, then I'll call somebody. So, hey, brother, my brother's a physician. Hey, brother, get some tingling going on in my hand. I looked up on the Google. Yes, I Googled it.
I felt more comfortable with that than you waiting it out. So go ahead.
Google said carpal tunnel. That's it. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. So that's what I think it is. The doctor will confirm that when I go see her and ask her about the yellow fever vaccine. And what was the other one you told me I had to do?
That's it. The malaria medication, that's just a tablet that you take. So she can give you a prescription for it. But the vaccination that you need is yellow fever. And she's going to say you want the yellow fever vaccine, but not the booster. But
right.
That's your argument.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the COVID booster because I think I'm working my way up to that. I'm
okay.
Ready for the flu for my own personal reasons. Mm-hmm. Y'all do what is safest for y'all. Don't listen to me. Don't be.
Because I ain't getting fever.
But I'm thinking I still want to go to Africa. I still want to go to Nigeria. I want to hit Benin City. But, bruh, I'm getting all this stuff on my feed now on the social media because I keep asking about it. And did you know there's a statue of the Woman King?
No, I don't even think I even looked that deeply into it.
Right. So now, do I want to actually go to the country of Benin so I can see the statue of the Woman King?
Because realistically, I mean, I was doing my research just on the wall. The wall is not much of anything left anyway. Right. So you'll be getting most of your sightseeing at the museum, like your history at the museum. I mean, you'll be on the land. So sometimes there's a spiritual connection in that. But it's not like you're going to see the greatness of what it was,
So stick with me. I know y'all are much better Christians than I am. But I do have this spiritual side of me that I pretend exists. And I went to HU, Hampton University, and I don't know if you've heard about the Emancipation Oak.
I think I have heard about that. Yes.
Yes. So Hampton University is older than the end of slavery, and they have an oak tree on the campus. It is said that if you're breathing the air of this oak tree, which is huge, and I can't say beautiful, but moving, it is moving. You're breathing the air, you're breathing the same air as the ancestors from the 1800s.
Mm.
So if I go to the Benin Wall, am I breathing the same air as the ancestors from the 1400s and the 1500s and the 1600s?
You are, and you do feel it. You feel that spiritual connection. I mean, I haven't been there to that wall, but even just being on the continent in general, you do feel like this ancestral connection. Like, I don't know anybody here. Like, I can't go to any of my cousins, uncles, or anybody's house, but somehow it still feels like home. So it is that connection. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard. I have a friend who's been to Ghana multiple times, and she was telling me, she said, the moment you step foot there, it's just like, you just feel like you belong there.
You feel like it, yeah. And not only is just that feeling before you even interact with the people, but they help. At least in my experience, they help when you get there. Very welcoming people when you get to the continent.
Okay, well, I think maybe it's better for you because you look Igbo.
I mean, it's possible, but I also just think, you hear people with their stories about some of their interactions. Let me see. Because my glasses on my head instead on my eyes. Oh, I know that's right. In African history of Africa, from the dawn of humanity to independence. Okay. Zainab Badawi.
Yeah. African lady wrote a history of Africa from the mitochondrial Eve to the present, or until the end of colonization. So I'm reading this right now, and I'm starting to catch some feels.
Oh,
I love it. I can't wait. You gotta keep me updated on how it is, because I'm telling you, I've been in my African history bag too, and then my husband is of course helping, and then I'm also getting him deeper knowledge of African American history, and this has been like drawing parallels and stuff like that. So yeah, it's important. I know a lot of times for me, I can speak for myself, I study our history starting here, but then when you see it even from before here, yeah, it's deep and it's interesting. So my husband's Igbo, so we've been looking more at the Biafra War.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. So I think that it's something that a lot of us should do, is not just look at African American history. Our history is amazing, but to also know what we were doing before we got here.
Yeah. I think one of the important parts about that is, at least to the limited research that I've done, there's a lot less whitewashing when it comes to actual African history than African American history, because we're still putting pieces together of stories that we've been told and lies we've been told, and that can be frustrating. That gets to the point where at certain points I'm like, do I even want to look anymore at the moment? Like, I gotta take a break, because half of what y'all told me most of my life was a lie. And so now that I'm putting two and two together, not only am I angry, but I'm feeling like, yo, so where's the actual real origin other than what y'all told us, So
well, yeah, that one definitely for me. We talked about this on other podcasts, really wanting to read things and listen to history from the Afrocentric point of view, instead of the Eurocentric point of view. So I don't really want to hear their perspective. I don't care how many books they've read to consider themselves experts on it. Like, so for me, that's how I kind of can steer away from that feeling, that you're feeling. Because a lot of it is lies, or even if it's not a lie, it's diluted. Yeah. But their history is diluted too. Now, trust me. Just that's all I'll say is trust me. It's very diluted too, and some of them still have to work through the colonization of their minds too, because they have that white savior. Some of them have that white savior complex as well. Trying to say it in the nicest way. The whites have come over to their country. Of course, that's how we got here, and they've done it. They've wreaked havoc. They stole their resources and done all kinds of things. So
yeah,
it ain't that. It ain't what we think. It ain't as black over there as we think. They still got a lot of mindset stuff that has happened from colonization.
So you talking about Biafra, Heavenly, and my brother-in-law is Yoruba. He grew up in Lagos, and I decided, because I was in a mood, to pick a fight.
Oh my God!
Right, so I went over there and I said, "Oh, Femi, I just wanted to talk about Biafra for a minute because I know your folk were like the Israelites when it comes to the Igbo, who were pretty much like the Palestinians. Y'all just took them off their land and tried to kill them all." He got heated.
I know you did. You probably should have started running. Did that voice get deep and loud? Because you know they like to fuss.
I got a 2-hour lecture on the history of Nigeria, the tribal history of Nigeria,
yeah,
that was stolen by the Europeans, the impact of the Europeans on Nigerian tribal culture and the Igbo.
Mm-hmm. It's deep.
It is. These are the same country.
And that's the thing.
But
exactly. So that's the thing. They have their own divisions. They're very tribal. Like I said, you can catch them. If you catch them outside of their country, they're gonna try to stick together. Absolutely. It's just like I said, if you catch DC people outside of DC, we're gonna stick together. But if you put us back in DC, we repping the quadrant. Right. It's the same there. They're very tribal, and there have been so many wars just right there on their own land, or they got people that come and it's still happening to this day, burning down whole villages over tribalism and religious wars. So stuff is still happening.
Sheesh. Colonization has done a number on no one worse than us.
Yeah.
Like globally. Because I was watching a documentary about the Crown in England and all that, and I'm like, said, boy, there's some evil people out here. And when you think about even where colonization came from and how, like, you guys just took what you already were doing and brought it to somewhere else, and yet have the nerve to say that you found this, or it's like,
but that's all they do.
A savior of what? You're preserving your own people, but as far as culturally, you're taking everyone else's culture and utilizing it for your own good, but you're not bringing your own to it.
I heard Dr. Umar say something. I know everybody ain't no Dr. Umar fan. I be liking some of the stuff Dr. Umar be saying. I'm not gonna lie, I be like, yeah. So he was basically saying, though, which I agree with, like, even when you talk about the South Africans, like, the white people in South Africa they're South African because they were born there. So maybe by nationality, but that's it. Like, they're not South African. They're European people that moved on to these people's land, took over, stole it, and then tried to call it their own. So it's like it's been happening everywhere. That's why the South Africans have their own history with the whites, and they have a similar, like, feeling that we have about them. Like they don't play about it. But also, let's add layers to that. They also have a lot of xenophobia there in South Africa too. They don't want nobody there that's not from their country, including other Africans.
So the author of this book, most of the people that she interviewed were African academics. Now, she was interviewing a few white folks, but she made a purposeful effort to make sure she talked to Africans. And one of the things she talked about in the first few pages is whiteness is new. There have only been non-melanated people for about 12,000 years. Before that, everybody was from Africa, and was African. Everybody had melanin.
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence that white people are older than 12,000 years.
Let's tell them that they'll pass out.
Right. So,
well, yeah, we've been saying that. The scholars have been saying that all people originate from the continent of Africa. But that's hard for the world to accept.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that. Not at all. No matter how much science and the things that they say we should believe in, prove it.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting. So much deep. It's so deep to dive into though, because I was listening. They have these diaspora wars all of a sudden going on TikTok, which I hate. I would like to. Can it get off my feed? How it got on my feed? I would never know. I want it gone, but because I don't engage in that kind of stuff, I kind of see more of the part where we have things in common and we should be drawing parallels than the stupid stuff, the wars and going back and forth. But I was listening to this one girl. I did save hers. She was talking about how African Americans are not considered like their own ethnic group in the same way that the Jamaicans are, right? And she's doing this comparison. I might send it to y'all. And I just thought it was really interesting. And I said, man, if I really took a deep dive into really, really, really studying African history, we would be researching for years and years and years, because you got to talk about all the different places that we were dispersed to and what the experience was like in each of those places and the unique cultures that we created on these new lands. Right. Yeah. And it's just a lot. Right. Because we got to talk about Jamaica, and that's a whole course in itself. Got to talk about all the islands. We got to talk about the Americas. We got to talk about, like she was saying, something like how they were able to, they basically have their own land, their own flag, so they can be proud of that, of their home. We are basically filtered in or infiltrated into their land, the white people's land. And so we don't have our own land. So it's difficult for them to respect us as an ethnic group and us as having our own unique culture and our own language and stuff like that. So I can't say in her exact words, but I just loved the thoughtfulness that she put into kind of trying to see why we're looked at different in the world. Like, people respect the Jamaican culture. You hear African American, it's like, okay, you often hear people say we don't have a culture, even though the whole world, like
the whole world,
we are the culture, right? But it's just interesting seeing the different things that's going on, and I'd be like, yo, I really wish I could really study this, but it's a lot. It's very broad.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, David. Have you taken a trip to the continent yet?
No.
Where do you plan to go on your first trip to the continent? And then where do you plan to go on your second trip to the continent?
So honestly, I would love to go to Nigeria or Ghana. Nigeria or Ghana for one or two. Because the friend that I've been telling you about who's been going to Ghana, she was telling me about one of her friends who has purchased like a complex over there in Ghana. And she was saying how you don't even have to build on the land to own the land. And they are basically offering dual citizenship and things of that nature. And I'm like, boy, Africa sound real good this kind of time of year. Like, based on all this stuff happening here, I'm like, yo, it's hard for me to imagine a place where you don't initially have to just even be concerned with overt racism in general.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a weird concept for me.
Well, yeah, you don't have to deal with it. But I'll say, I can't say it's 100% weird considering where we live at right now. It's when we deal with the systems, like when we're dealing with work and things like that, that we see it, or when we travel outside of the DMV area. But I think we have a little taste of what it's like just living here. That's why they call Bowie the Nigeria in the US. That's why they do. They were like, they got a little meme online like, yeah, my girl wanted to go to Nigeria. I took her to Bowie, Maryland. You know, like, so like, I feel like even when they come here, like, or we see African immigrants, they're usually coming to Maryland, Texas. It's just like certain places, Atlanta, where the blacks are.
Yeah.
Because they still want to gravitate and be around people that look like them. And so we've been blessed to kind of be in a hub of black people.
Yeah. I will say PG County has been great. It's been the closest thing to Wakanda in this area for a lot. You know, I even now, granted, I'm still nervous when cops are around, but just knowing that the majority of them look like you sometimes brings a level of comfort, at least knowing that, hey, that'll be one bullet instead of 6. You know?
It's just going into like the more rural areas because we have little rural patches. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm at my house right now in Cambridge. This is not the DMV.
Yeah, just do everything you told and go in the house.
Hands up. Don't
Hands
shoot.
up and out the window.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, you got to make your way over.
So, question.
Your turn.
Where's I'm about to say
African destination you going to?
For my, I have so many I want to go to, but I do want to go to Ghana. I want to go to Tanzania, am I saying that right? Tanzania. Some people say it differently, but that's for the beaches and stuff. I still want to be back in Nigeria, but I want to hit Lagos because I still haven't gone to Lagos yet. South Africa. I like to visit South Africa. So it's a few places that I really want to go. Kenya. Mm-hmm. It's a long list. It's so funny because even before I met my husband, I was like, yo, I always said I wanted to like explore the entire continent. I always had travel at the top of my list of things to do. I just want to travel the world, and Africa was always my big destination. I'll be honest, I never really had like hopes of going to like London and Paris. I will go, but it's not like at the top of my list of places to be. Yeah. So. Yeah. Egypt. I want to go to Egypt.
Yeah. I think when I come to Nigeria, is a week sufficient, or should it be, I know it'll be new. So what as far as like the adjustment time period, like should I give myself an extra day or two to adjust before I explore, or?
You can do a week, but ideally I would say 10 days.
Okay.
I say 10. You don't really need it. It depends on the person. I don't need a big adjustment because, first of all, you have a 14-hour flight. You're going to be asleep if you sleep on planes. When you get off that plane, you're going to be ready to roll. You're not going to you're going to be rejuvenated. Walking through an airport and going through that is a lot, but I say if you get through the airport, you get to wherever you're lodging, get you some good food, get you some sleep, or not right away, you'll be fine. I don't know. It don't take me a long time to adjust. It takes me more time to adjust when I come back home. So I say 10 days though, because I personally be like, the flight too long to be there less than 10 days.
That makes sense.
But you do what you can with your leave. That's what I say. Like Dale, I say you think you can't be there more than a week, right?
Well, technically, I got sick days. Yes. Ooh, I think I caught the yellow fever.
Yeah.
I can't even laugh at that one because no, that's too serious. Get the vaccination, then I can laugh about it.
Right. Like, hold on, you tingling again, Dale.
Listen, and not with me as the hostess with the mostest.
So I might have 10, 12 days that I'm available for my travel. Because I can come back tired because I'm retiring shortly after that. So I don't even care.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I did a week before. Y'all remember last year?
Yeah.
So it's not like it can't be done. And I just went right back to work. So there have been times I've got off the plane and went right back to work. But that's because I'm like, all right, all I got to do is make it to the weekend and I can just sleep and catch up. Yeah. It just depends on what your mindset is and what you really, really want. But if you ask my suggestion, I say at least 10 days. Okay. 10 to 14 days. You have a ball.
All right. I'm gonna plan on that. I'm sick that week.
Mm-hmm. Tell you. So, any other questions y'all have though? Like things y'all would want to do there?
Well, yeah. I mean, so how easy is it to go to a neighboring country? Do you need a visa for every country you hit when you're on the continent? Or is it like here, or actually closer to it, when I was in Ireland, I just drove into Northern Ireland. That's a different country, but there's no border, no crossing, no nothing. You just go.
Well, with that blue passport, there are some countries you could get in without without another visa. Nigeria, you need a visa, but say Ghana, we don't need one.
Got it.
Neither do we need one for South Africa. Ghana is a 1-hour flight from Nigeria.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So there are people 1-hour flight. So there are people who go to both countries. I had a friend, she spent 2 weeks in Ghana, 2 weeks in Nigeria. Then also, you know how the visa situation is set up where you have a certain amount of time you can stay. There are people who will stay up to that 30-day mark, go to Ghana, then come back to Nigeria because your time starts over. Your time limit that you can stay starts over. So the countries are that close, and the flights, with it being an hour flight, is cheaper. So people feel like it's worth the little investment to go see another country and then come back.
Okay. So the next time I come, it'll be in retirement. So I got a little extra time, and I might spend a month or two outside the country.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all know? Okay. I think I told you, Dale. You know that in Nigeria, at least, I don't know how Ghanaians do it. They pay the rent for the year.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing this every month rent stuff we doing.
Yeah.
They pay at the top of the year, and then they just hustle for the rest of the year until it's time to pay rent again.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, it depends on where you live, what the price can be. But for real, what we pay in 1 month can pay for a year's rent there. A year. Okay. 12 months. So you talk about 2 months, you might decide to go ahead and stay for a year. You retired.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna stay here until I'm 70.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It sounds, I'm telling you, it sounds really good when you think about all the money you could save and things like that.
Yeah.
But again, we're speaking from
Aren't y'all ready to buy a house in Cambridge?
No. I got kids to raise. No.
I'm too dark.
That's what I got kids to raise. I can't do that. But what you can do is make that an Airbnb or something.
Right.
I got to be a long-term rental. I don't want to do no Airbnb thing.
Okay.
Well, you probably don't have people in Cambridge. Well, you might, but you probably have a safer clientele there to be able to do a long-term rent.
Yeah. I don't know. I ain't trying to live here no more.
Now, do you think Susan would move to Africa with you?
She can visit whenever she wants to. She's not ready to retire yet.
Oh, okay.
Either way, Dale said he moving somewhere. Dale don't know where, but Dale said he moving
away from here. Now, keep in mind though, Cambridge is a very nice place. I love my house.
Mm-hmm.
People love Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a me thing anymore.
Right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
People are moving here all the time. And somebody gonna live in this house?
They sure are. And I hope you make a profit off your house.
Yes,
I
sir.
certainly will. I have no choice.
No choice. I know that's right.
I'll make a profit. I can't pay the mortgage off.
You won't just be living there.
I'll just be living here forever and mad about it.
No, you won't. Listen, people out here wish they had a roof. I'm telling you. I sound like an old lady right there. See how I catch myself? Oh, get up to it. I call myself coming off my lips. People wish they had a roof over their head. That's something my great grandma would say.
You complaining? At least you got clothes. Like,
Uh-huh.
All right, Heavenly, let's hear it. Oh Lord.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah. Go ahead, Auntie.
listen, once you start having kids, that's gonna come in for real.
I'll be morphing into line. I'll be saying so many of the old things by accident. Then I just catch myself like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, girl.
Once
First
you
of all,
have kids. Mhm.
Oh, I already know. Once the kids go, it's gonna get even worse. I think about it now, like, what are they gonna be saying to their friends that I didn't say it to them? Like,
the exact same thing. You
my mama said to me, I can't wait to hit them with the boo boo the food. I remember my first time she said that to me. That was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. She was like, "What do you think I boo boo the food?" I just remember passing out laughing as a child. I was like, "I'm about to hit. I can't wait to hit my kids with the boo boo the food."
And we all know who Boo Boo the Fool is, but we ain't never seen a book or video or nothing about this guy.
We just know. We said we don't know who boo boo the food is. We just know who is not.
Oh,
And we know we know who is not. It ain't our mama. So, yeah, this is good, guys. So, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you guys tune in next week for another episode of the Prince George's Weekly. And if you get a chance, screenshot that book that Dell is holding up and support, read, get educated. Let's learn more about the history of Africa. Okay. Until next time, we love you guys. Peace. Mwah.